What it do, YTeezy? There's part 2, day-to-day life in the federal penitentiary. I hope you got your shovel, because I need you to dig this, partner. It's your boy F&B Church, a.k.a. Southwest Churchy, a.k.a. One Way Churchy. Let's go. So on part 1, we talked about the day-to-day in the Supermax prison in Baltimore, Maryland. So now I'm going to let y'all know how it went when I finally hit the pounds. When I say the pounds is, you know, when you're in federal prison, they might send you any fucking where. So, for instance, like when I left the Supermax, they transported me to somewhere in Virginia at this landing strip. When I say this landing strip, it was just like a fucking landing strip. When I say it was the biggest plane I ever witnessed in my entire eyesight, it was a big ass, like brownish plane, and it had a big ass American flag like on the left side of it. When the plane stopped, a bunch of inmates walked off with like the chains and all that wrapped around them. Mind you, we already had all the chains and stuff wrapped around our whole body. So I already knew like, oh, we ready to get on this plane, they ready to take us somewhere. So bam. They start, when I say it was like over 1,000 people like on the runway, it was just lines everywhere. They telling you get in this line, you get, what's your number, you get in this line. So it's a bunch of buses and it's the plane. So I'm just thinking in my head, please don't make me get on this plane, please. So I'm like, all right, fuck it. So they called me, of course I had to get on the plane. The fucking plane was raggedy as shit, was small as shit. It was like no room for my legs whatsoever. It's just like on TV when the cages is like this, and it's just cages and you in there strapped in next to another person. They flew us to Oklahoma and flew us directly back after they dropped like 20 inmates off, back to the Virginia airport. Well, landing strip, wherever. When we got there, I got on a Greyhound and they sent me to, where the fuck I was at? Petersburg. No, I was in like Lewisburg, Pennsylvania. So they were sending me over to the low. So I'm like, all right, bet. So I get there. When I say, yo, this shit look like a fucking, it's just like on TV. It's just like a big ass area with a baseball field, football field. You see soccer fields. You see basketball courts and just a bunch of inmates just walking around in a circle. You see like buildings everywhere and shit like that. So I'm already like, man, this shit new to me. So I'm like, man, fuck. So I'm trying to figure everything out. So I'm on the bus with a couple of people. Mind you, I caught 5 years. So I'm sitting there like, man, I just beat some shit, man. I'm ready to just go ahead and sleep this 5 years off and come the fuck back home. But I was sitting next to a dude, yo. He was probably like 28 years old. Man, they gave that man 88 years for something, like he did something, man. They gave him 88 years, yo. I just kept telling myself, like, man, don't tell this man how much time you got, because people don't like that shit in prison. Like, if they find out you going home soon, I don't like that shit. They'll jeopardize your life in any kind of way, so you gotta watch that. If y'all ever go through that shit, don't be telling people y'all business in there. So, when I got to the pound, you know, they show you where you gotta go and all that. Everybody, from your cities, they pretty much press up on you. When I say press up on you, when I first got there, I couldn't even leave my cell. The people from Baltimore, well, it was actually a dude from somewhere else. He asked me where I was from, and I told him Baltimore. He said, go in your cell, your homie's gonna be coming to get you. So when I get to the cell, all the Baltimore dudes come to me and pretty much press me where I'm from, this and that, I'm from here. Like, I ain't even really have a chance to ask them where they was from because they was the aggressive mostly. Like, they was trying to figure me out, so I ain't had time to ask them. So they like, where you from, what you in here for, this and that. So I'm like, man, I'm from over west, this and that, I gang bang, I'm thumb, you know, I'm repping my shit. So they like, all right, bet, give us your paperwork. So I give them my paperwork, they say, don't leave your cell till we tell you. Now after that, I knew it was going. I knew this shit wasn't no TV shit. I knew that shit instantly because them niggas wasn't acting like them niggas acting on TV. Them niggas, it was all about business. So I'm sitting there like, all right. They read my paperwork good. So it's either they come back and greet you or they come back and kill you. So when I heard my cell pop, I don't even know how they popped my cell for one. I don't know how they even had that juice at the time to pop my cell open without me asking for my cell to be popped open. But my cell popped open, and they just came in that bitch with hella food, hella outfits, hella shoes, boots, anything I could possibly need in prison for real. Drugs, weapons, all that shit. They pretty much embraced me. They figured out a dude that was actually on the pound that was a shot caller was my uncle, so that just put me on top of the tier a little bit more. So if y'all look back, at this point, I'm gonna stop that part of the story because if you go back on my page, you'll see the time when I talked about getting to my first fight in prison. That's where that shit started to play in from there. So y'all go back and look for that video. All right, bet. So once you get into the all right, I'm in my cell and stuff. I'm gonna let y'all know the day-to-day on this. 6 a.m. lights on. That's breakfast. Like most of the time, that's breakfast and work move. A 10-minute move. This is called a move. We call it 10-minute moves because you got 10 minutes to get from where you are to where you going. If you get caught in between where you at and where you were going, you're going to the hole for breaking out of prison. That is an escape charge. Getting caught on a pound and a 10-minute move is an escape charge. Everybody know what I'm talking about. They will send y'all ass back and give you 3 more years like you just try to climb the fucking fence. So on a 10-minute move, it could be, for instance, like 6 a.m. They say they're going to announce it on these speakers. I don't even know where the speaker's at. And they're still going to announce it's going to say 10-minute move, 6 o'clock, 10-minute move. I'm talking about people be haul-assing. So if I'm trying to go get breakfast, I gotta hurry up and walk to that motherfucking breakfast room before they say 10-minute move off. Nobody can get caught. It's no exceptions. If you out there, you don't supposed to be out there. They got your ass. I'm telling you. So if you go to the gym, the barber shop, the church, the school, to the workout, to the yard, to the basketball court, anything you're doing, you gotta go in the 10-minute span. Every hour on the hour. So the first 10 minutes is breakfast. You either could go to breakfast or you could go out to the yard. The barber shop not open, but the barbers could go in there and set up and stuff like that. So yeah, pretty much after the 6 o'clock move is a 10-minute move every hour on the hour. That's just how it is. So you go wherever you want. I might get up at 8 and just go on the 8 o'clock move and go outside and work out or go hoop or something like that. Long as I'm somewhere after that 10-minute move over, I'm good. They don't care where you at, what you doing. Like, it's fucking guards everywhere, so you ain't gonna be doing no dumbass shit. So wherever you going,
hit the like, get those, get the thumbs up, hit the like, get those, get the thumbs up, hit the like, get those, get the thumbs up, hit the like, get those, get the thumbs up, hit the like, get those.
At 10:30 is the first lockdown. 10:30 they lock down. They do their counts on all the pods. Where I was at, it was like 1,500 inmates. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It was like 5 buildings, different pods. So each building was their own pod. So and it was people every fucking where, from each city, every fucking where. So after the 10:30 lockdown, the 11 o'clock move is lunch move. Most people go to lunch, most people don't. They might go out, work out, say fuck lunch, they cook their own food and all that stuff. So that's on you. But if you go to lunch, it's called cars. Every city got their car, every gang got their car. So I'm a Piru member. I can only sit with Piru members. I can't be eating with Crips and all these other stuff, because that's my car. I'm in the Baltimore car. I can only eat on the Baltimore tables. We got a bunch of tables that Baltimore and DC split. So we all together, we could sit together, but Philly got their own line. North Carolina got theirs, South got theirs, and so on. Every city got their table, so you gotta eat with your city or your gang. So when I say it's a split through the entire cafeteria, it's all the blacks and all the whites and the Mexicans on that side. They don't talk to us. They don't look at us. They don't cook for us. None of that shit. So they don't do our laundry. I'm talking about they don't cut our hair. We can't work out with them, none of that shit. We can't play sports on their team. Like, it's like real races in prison. So it's like you stick with your kind, and that's just what it is. The Mexicans don't really like the white people, but they rather deal with the whites than the blacks. So as far as that's how as far as lunch go on the day to day. And if you look on the last episode, and I posted on this one as well, the menus on how we eat pretty much, and they're on the day to day. So after that, it's pretty much the 10-minute moves all the way to 3:30. But during that time, like between 6 a.m. and 3:30, you gotta be doing something. So for instance, I didn't have my education when I went in prison. So from 8 o'clock till 3:30, the 3:30 move, I had to be in school. So I couldn't go work out and stuff like that until I did a certain amount of stuff in school. And then I could probably leave an hour early, if any, but most of the time I was just chilling, watching TV and getting my GED. So once I got my GED, I was able to work. If you're not going to school, you're working. I don't care what you're doing. Like, they're gonna have you cutting grass, washing walls, something. You're gonna have a job in prison. That's just plain and simple in the feds. Like, so everybody working or going to school during the daytime. If you get to the point where like you got your GED, you got a little bullshit job, probably work every other day. Like, they be the dudes just out on the pound working out. But when you working and going to school, it get time taken off. When I got my GED, it took 60 days off my time. Like, so shit like that help you out in the long run. So then is at 4:15. It's your choice to go. And like I said, they don't press you. As long as they put that shit out there, they don't press you. Now the food in the federal like yards and stuff is way better than the Supermax. Like, you actually get onions and peppers and stuff like that. So, but it's still like crap shit, of course. But like this what we got. How we living. So it is what it is. After the 4:15 move, it's just pretty much 10-minute moves every hour on the hour. That's just how the feds is. 10-minute moves every hour on the hour. If you're going to go get drugs, you got your 10 minutes to do it. If you're going to go do this, you got your 10 minutes to do it. Like, that's just plain and simple. Around like 7 o'clock, they call a pill line. Pill line is pretty much people with medical, if you got surgery done, this and that, they got pills. Like, as far as me, I suffer from anxiety and depression, so I was getting my little pills and shit. So I would always, it's a hustle, everything a hustle. I will always take my pills. I will never take them. I take them to the white boys and I sell them. That's just plain and simple. And that was how I was eating. Fuck that. Because I wasn't, they try to brainwash you in that motherfucker. I don't be knowing what them pills be. So I don't like dealing with that shit. But, it's pretty much a 10-minute move to 8, like 7:45, 8 o'clock. That's like the lockdown. Everybody got to be in their pods. The yard shut down. It's no more basketballs. None of that shit. Like, everybody got to go in their cell. Or pretty much your pod. Not cell. They make you go in your dorm pretty much. Once you go in your pod, you might watch TV till about 12 o'clock, something like that. And I think lights out usually be like 12, depending on what CO it is in the pod. Like where I was at, we shut down early because I was in the RDAP program. But normally people be up 1 o'clock in the morning watching TV. They don't be caring. Like once you in that lockdown, it's up to you if your ass want to go to sleep because you got to get up early anyway. So all that shit on you. You're a grown man. So, like most of the people, they just work out. A lot of people cook. A lot of people read. I was a real reader. I wrote a lot of scripts. I wrote a lot of like novels and stuff like that. A lot of people like manifest a lot of things in prison, yo. Like I had a lot of ideas. I wrote a lot of music, shit like that. So you gotta pretty much take your lemons and make lemonade to whatever situation you're in. That's the moral of the story. But it's boring as fucking prison. I would not recommend it. You can lose your mind. You can lose your mind if you're not strong enough. But yeah, that's the day to day. Once I hit the federal yard, like once I hit the pound, if y'all want to know a little bit more like funny stories and stuff like that, just look down my page on the playlist and stuff like that. I'm sure y'all see a bunch of little stories I got about little situations I went through in prison. But this part 2, y'all. day-to-day routine in prison.